Government surveillance refers to the monitoring and collection of data by government agencies, often aimed at maintaining national security, preventing crime, and managing public safety. This concept involves a range of techniques and technologies, from wiretapping and tracking online activities to the use of sophisticated software that analyzes vast amounts of data. The significance of government surveillance within the broader discussion of privacy and freedom cannot be overstated. As technology advances, the ability of governments to monitor citizens has increased, raising critical questions about the balance between national security and individual privacy rights. Two notable examples of government surveillance are the USA Patriot Act and the PRISM program. The USA Patriot Act, enacted shortly after the September 11th attacks, expanded the ability of law enforcement to surveil individuals without their knowledge. It facilitated easier access to communications records, financial transactions, and other personal data in the name of combating terrorism. PRISM, another initiative exposed by Edward Snowden in 2013, involves collaboration between government agencies and tech companies to collect and analyze internet data. These programs highlight the extent and reach of surveillance activities, making them subject to public scrutiny and debate. Proponents of government surveillance argue that such measures are essential for national security and public safety. They claim that the ability to monitor suspicious activities and collect intelligence helps prevent attacks, safeguard citizens, and uphold law and order. However, surveillance is not without its challenges and controversies. Privacy advocates and civil liberties organizations warn that excessive surveillance can lead to abuses of power, with governments overstepping their bounds and infringing on individual rights. They express concerns about the lack of transparency and oversight, as well as the potential for misuse of collected data. Alternative viewpoints suggest that technology companies, not just governments, play a significant role in monitoring individuals, often for commercial purposes. This blurs the lines between government and corporate surveillance, complicating efforts to regulate and control data collection. The introduction of government surveillance connects to broader themes within the topic, such as ethical considerations, the influence of technology, and the evolving nature of privacy. It underscores the constant tension between security needs and personal freedoms, a dynamic that influences policymaking and societal attitudes. Understanding government surveillance is crucial for comprehending the wider implications on democratic values, human rights, and the future of personal privacy in a digital age. Surveillance programs have a long and complex history, evolving alongside technological advancements and societal shifts in the name of security and public safety. At its core, surveillance refers to the systematic observation of individuals or groups, often conducted by governmental bodies to gather information and monitor behavior. Its importance lies in its dual role, serving as a tool for maintaining national security and order, while simultaneously raising concerns about privacy and civil liberties. Historically, surveillance has been a key component of governmental strategy, with roots tracing back to wartime intelligence operations. In the modern era, surveillance programs expanded significantly during the Cold War, largely due to the need for intelligence on potential threats. The significance of these programs became more pronounced after the September 11th, 2000 terrorist attacks. Governments worldwide, particularly in the United States, implemented robust surveillance initiatives like the USA Patriot Act. This legislation allowed for increased monitoring of communications in the name of counterterrorism, highlighting the delicate balance between security and privacy. Two notable examples illustrate the real-world application of surveillance programs. First, the National Security Agency, NSA, has been at the forefront, especially with programs like PRISM, which reportedly involve the collection of internet communications from major tech companies. Another example is the proliferation of CCTV networks in urban areas, intended to deter crime and assist law enforcement. London, for instance, is known for its extensive use of CCTV cameras, providing both a sense of security and a point of contention for privacy advocates. The debate around surveillance is heated, with proponents arguing that these programs are essential for protecting citizens against threats. On the other hand, Critics, including civil liberties organizations like the Electronic Frontier Foundation, argue that such measures infringe on individual rights and lack proper oversight. This controversy is intensified by revelations from figures like Edward Snowden, who exposed the depth of government surveillance, sparking global debates over privacy. Challenges surrounding surveillance also include technological advancements that outpace existing legal frameworks and the potential misuse of elected data. These programs intersect with issues such as digital privacy, data security, and the ethics of governmental power. As society becomes increasingly digital, the influence of surveillance pervades discussions on internet governance, personal freedoms, and the future relationship between citizens and their governments. Ultimately, understanding the historical background of surveillance programs provides essential context for evaluating contemporary debates on government oversight and individual privacy. Surveillance technologies encompass a range of tools and techniques designed to monitor, collect, and analyze data for various purposes, often involving the observation of individuals or groups. These technologies are integral to understanding modern surveillance practices and their implications, especially concerning privacy and the extent of governmental oversight in citizens' lives. In the context of government surveillance, these technologies are crucial as they form the backbone of monitoring systems deployed to ensure national security, enforce laws, and maintain public safety. However, their use raises significant concerns regarding civil liberties and privacy rights, sparking debates about the appropriate balance between security and personal freedom. Two prominent examples of surveillance technologies include closed-circuit television, CCTV cameras, and electronic communication monitoring. CCTV systems are widely used in urban areas, public transport systems, and private establishments, enabling real-time monitoring and recording of activities, which aids in crime prevention and investigation. Alternatively, electronic communication monitoring involves the interception and analysis of digital communications, such as emails and phone calls, often facilitated by agencies like the NSA, using sophisticated tools like PRISM, which collects data from internet companies. Supporters argue that surveillance technologies are vital for preemptively thwarting terrorist activities, reducing crime rates, and gathering intelligence crucial for national defense. They suggest that as threats become more complex and clandestine, so must the methods to counteract them, asserting that such technologies provide law enforcement and security agencies with necessary capabilities. However, these technologies are not without challenges and controversies. Critics argue they lead to invasive monitoring and create a potential for abuse by authorities, where the scope of surveillance extends beyond its intended purpose. Concerns about mass surveillance, lack of transparency, and insufficient legal safeguards are common, with critics warning about the erosion of privacy and the potential for a surveillance state, where individuals feel perpetually watched and judged. The debate on surveillance technologies connects deeply to broader discussions on the ethical use of technology, governance, and civil rights. The extent and means of government surveillance affect public trust in institutions and can influence legislation, policy making, and the development of counter-technologies aimed at protecting privacy. These dynamics highlight an ongoing tension between innovation and privacy, illuminating the need for continued dialogue and regulatory scrutiny to ensure that while surveillance technologies serve their purpose, they do so without compromising the fundamental rights of individuals. The challenge lies in finding a balanced approach that respects privacy while addressing security needs. The concept of legal framework and privacy concerns in the context of government surveillance programs refers to the structured body of laws, regulations, and legal precedents that govern how governments collect, store, and utilize personal information. It also encapsulates the ethical and civil considerations related to individual privacy and freedom. Understanding this legal framework is crucial because it defines the boundaries of acceptable behavior for government agencies and seeks to balance national security with citizens' right to privacy. This topic is significant as it underpins the entire debate about surveillance. Without legal guidelines, government agencies could potentially overreach, infringing on individual freedoms and eroding public trust. Conversely, Too many restrictions could impede efforts to prevent crime and terrorism, showcasing the complexity of this balance. Two prominent examples highlight these issues. First, the USA Patriot Act, enacted after the September 11th attacks, expanded governmental surveillance capabilities but stirred controversy about privacy invasions. This act allowed for monitoring and data collection on a massive scale but faced criticism for perceived overreach and insufficient oversight. More recently, the European Union's General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, offers a contrast, emphasizing stringent data protection and privacy for individuals. It sets strict guidelines on data collection and the right to privacy, often serving as a model for other regions. Supporters argue that a strong legal framework is essential to maintain national security and prevent crime. They contend that programs like the ones authorized by the Patriot Act have thwarted numerous threats. However, privacy advocates counter that such measures often bypass due process and can lead to mass surveillance without accountability. Organizations like the Electronic Frontier Foundation argue for stronger privacy protections and more transparency in surveillance operations. Challenges and controversies are inherent in this discussion. For instance, the rise of digital technology has outpaced existing laws, raising questions about their applicability in safeguarding privacy. Additionally, there's ongoing debate around transparency and accountability in surveillance programs, with critics claiming that secretive operations erode democratic values. The legal framework and privacy concerns are deeply intertwined with other aspects of surveillance, influencing technological development, public perception, and international relations. As governments worldwide grapple with these issues, this balance of surveillance and privacy continues to shape the broader discourse on how to protect citizens while respecting their liberties. This ongoing dialogue underscores the need for evolving legal standards that adapt to the changing landscape of technology and threats.